Hey everyone, this is Stacy McMullen, and I wanted to share my favorite 2.0 web resource. After compiling the list of 50 resources for our assignment and creating the Diigo of all those bookmarks, I really sat down and tried to think about the one resource that I felt like I could not live without. I have recently, and probably for the past 6 months, really been focused on using Nearpod in my classroom. Nearpod is an awesome resource that I am lucky enough to have a paid subscription to. However, it does have a free version as well. When you go to the Nearpod login screen, my best advice is to use your Google login account if you have one. That way, it keeps all of your passwords the same for your Google login. Just my personal opinion. Once you go in, there's a couple of different things you can do. You can create your own Nearpods. You can look from a library that they have. You can explore their library. And as you start to explore, you're going to build your own library. So I will first show you my library. I do apologize. I'm a little bit OCD, so I have everything in folders. As you can see, I've downloaded a lot of the things from the Nearpod library. So these are not all things that I created. One of the best reasons that I like Nearpod so much is because there's a huge community that already creates resources. So you can go and take things and edit what you like about it and what you don't. So at the bottom, you'll see that some say from the Nearpod team, some also say by Stacy McMullen. I did not necessarily create it, but I did alter it so that it comes saved with your name. Basically, in a nutshell, Nearpod is an interactive presentation tool. So there's two ways of sending this tool out to your students. One would be the live lesson in which you have master control over, or a student-paced lesson. So I'm just going to use a live lesson to show you what I mean by that. When I click on live lesson, there is a 5-digit code that students go on to nearpod.com and they type in to access the content. Once I'm ready, I have this on my smartboard and I can control the presentation. So this is not something I created, but it is something that I took and I either deleted things I didn't care for, or maybe I added something to it that I wanted to have. As I go through the presentation, I have control over every student computer that it has access to my Nearpod at this point. If they are logged into Nearpod, I have complete access over it. The best thing about the Nearpod is that they have interactive question types. So for this one, the student has a screen that looks different. Their screen says, write 2 adjectives that describe you. I can see all of their answers. We can go over adjectives some more. Now the student sees this screen up in the top left-hand corner that says words that describe, and they're supposed to write a great sentence using an adjective from the list. There's also things called Drawlet. So the student has this on their screen and they have to actually circle the adjectives. So they're physically using their mouse to circle the adjectives on their computer. I get all of this information and all of this data to let me know who truly understands. You can add websites, you can add videos. There's lots of different things that you can do. The best part about the Nearpod is that you can go in and see the data from your particular presentation. All in all, I think Nearpod's a great tool. The reason I like it so much, as I mentioned, is there is a free version, even if you don't have the paid version. And I like resources that already have things created. I feel as though with technology, it's very time consuming. So if there are already resources out there that you can alter to fit your students' needs, I think that's great. The other reason I really like it is even though I showed you the live version, there's also a student-paced version where students can go on their own and continue on the lesson for what they need. So if I have some of my higher students, they can be on a Nearpod while I'm working with a small group, and it makes it for a great acceleration activity. Thanks, and I hope you enjoyed Nearpod.